So Mapoon was a mission. You know, tribes here, they used to, you know, wander everywhere, and they brought them together. And Mapoon mission was formed. You know, it come to a point where, you know, they found bauxite up here. And they were doing exploration everywhere. Even my father was part of the exploration across the river, enterprise exploration. They used, you know, Mapoon men come across in the boat, and they thought, okay, there must be bauxite here in Mapoon. So along with the government, the police and the church, they closed Mapoon. And people didn't want to move. You know, this is their home. And the only way they can get people to move, they started burning the houses. So they were forcibly removed from the house, and the house was torched. Well, they standing up there watching it. And luckily, you know, at the time, my grandfather, he was sick and he was on TI. And he'd asked the missionary, everything he had to ask missionaries for permission for take his family up there while he was recovering. And in that time that they were gone, their home was burnt behind them. And these homes that they burnt, they weren't given materials, you know, to buy. They had to work for that, and they had to buy those materials, so that it was like their own homes. You know, my grandparents had just bought a brand new wood stove, and that got, you know, burnt. And they lied to them, you know, like there was stories they lied and say, oh, you need to come. There were some families that even, you know, after they burnt houses, they just refused to go. We'll go there, you got a house for you there. And when they got there to Sasia, take all them out from boat, and they got to New Mapoon, or Hidden Valley, what they used to call it back then, there was no house. So all them family that be taken from here, like had to, and there was, you know, had to, like he had another family there. They just go inside them for a house until, you know, they able to build a house. There was families that went from here, TI, go down Cairns or go down Silkwood, where my grandparents ended up. But there was no, you know, no real reason. And one of the things they said to them who was left behind, oh, you can't stop here because that water unsafe, you got or something, they're going to make you sick. So there was another life to tell them that, you know, come out from Mapoon. But it wasn't, you know, that was in 1963, 64. And I can remember my mum, my grandparents talking. My grandfather passed away when I was 8 though. I can remember them talking, oh, Mapoon, Mapoon. And we used to go and do a fundraising, send money or clothes or whatever we could. People going back to Mapoon, that was in the 70s now, 74, 75. People started coming back because that need to come back home was so strong. You know, no matter they've been burned or housed, we could still go back there. That's our home. You know, so it started there. You know, like all the men who had them strong connection to go back home, they would do everything they could to get back home. And they're like, probably another 10 years after that, that's when I've been first come here in the 80s. I was a teenager, and just a beautiful place, you know. How can anyone want to leave this place? And we come here and we went around the back there, a place called Rumu, camped on the beach there. Always remember Mapoon. You know, my grandmother talked about Mapoon. Want to go back Mapoon because that's the only home she ever knew. Yeah, but it's the resilience of people and their determination to come back here to Mapoon, to make Mapoon up again. You know, we're not a big community, we're a small community. And, you know, there's very proud people here. Yeah, nothing's going to stop them.